Friends, welcome into the TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs. It's great time for the sipping red wine, from Cavs to Sauves to Malbecs to the Big Bordeaux sale on at Specs. Cheers to savings. We're here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Look, I'm around alcohol, but I feel like when I say it, I feel like a fish out of water, Nick. Because I'm not part of the drinking community anymore. Not because I had any issues. I just don't do it.
Yeah, I can't remember a while back there was a read you had to do about beer, and you just could not get it right.
Couldn't get it right.
It's okay.
It's not my community. It'd be like you saying carne asada, right?
Carne asada.
Pardon?
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay. Ropa vieja.
I don't even know what you just said.
I said old clothes, which is a meal in Cuba.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
The library. It depends which one you want to go to, Nick, if you're asking. Anyway, what can you tell us about today's rewind? Your favorite part, and then you can tell us the guest.
I'm going to go Charean Williams. Favorite part today. So many people are talking. It's just so loud.
People are just so disrespectful.
They really are back here.
Tell everybody the wave, though.
I don't think no, they don't get airtime.
I don't like your attitude right now.
Well, I'll tell you who's on the rewind.
Okay, tell me who's on the rewind.
Show on the road, you know. Olin Buchanan, Charean Williams, Josh Pate, Jared Kalmus, UTSA insider.
Why is Luke acting busy when we know he's not?
Good point.
Watch the rewind. Here's something that they're saying, which I've only seen them report this. I don't know. I think it's accurate, but again, I don't know. I'm just going to read it. He allowed 0 sacks on 345 pass blocks in 2024. I did not know that. I wasn't familiar with your game. But PFF has that as a stat.
That's interesting. I hope it's accurate. Now, sometimes you don't know what the blocking scheme might have been, but okay, okay.
But I'd rather that than the opposite.
A&M allowed the 4th least sacks in the SEC last year, so they weren't giving up a whole bunch. Great, Demetrius.
He also was named to their 2025 All-SEC team as the only one of 3 Aggies selected, finishing in the league's 4th best overall tackle, ranking 113th in pass protection.
All right. Well, because I think there's this. Did
I say 113th? 13th in pass protection.
I think there's this thought. There's this narrative. Well, maybe not even a narrative, just a school of thought that Demetrius might be. How do I put this in the exact terminology? I don't want to say weakest. Might be the least proven guy on the offensive line.
If that's your least proven,
that's why you have one of the best offensive. Now you could say Naboo because he was hurt last year, but he did start all those games the year before. And then of course they have 3 guys that are all conference, preseason all conference. So, but back to the point, if that's your least proven guy, then you've already proven how good your offensive line is.
He helped A&M rush for 300-plus yards in consecutive games for the first time since 2012.
What were those games,
LSU and Missouri.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
And this guy, we were kind of going through it, might be an NFL guy here in a year.
He definitely has NFL size. You know what? His character is as good as his stature or as big. Those Crownover boys were raised really well.
For them to win 9+ games, what has to happen this year?
Well, I think we talked about this a lot. I think it starts with the offensive line. I think the defense is going to be fine. I think it's going to be the offense and how effective they can be. Can they be consistent? Can they just move the ball and score consistently? And it's going to come down to how the offensive line protects for the run game and how they protect for Reed. And then, secondly, how Reed plays. Is he going to take that next step? If he takes that next step and he has time, then I think this is going to be a really good football team, and I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. They're going to be in every game. I'm not going to say they're going to win the national championship. But, Elko talked about this. When you have 3 players drafted, that's what we had this past year, I think, you didn't have a whole lot of talent, of NFL-level talent. Now, some of those players came back. I get that. I understand that. Some of those players that you had transferred, like a Walter Nolan, who was a first-round draft pick, I get that. But the difference this year is going to be, as he talked about, they're going to have double-digit players go into the NFL. That makes a huge difference. Just the talent level is better. So I expect the talent level to be significantly better this season, to the play to be significantly better this season, particularly on offense. I mean, the defense didn't play like we expected last season, so I do think they're going to be better as well. But I'm not worried about the defense. I think they're going to be fine. It's just how effective is that offense going to be? Are they going to be able to move the ball consistently and score consistently?
See, and I've always kind of thought the opposite, Charean. So tell me, what is it that makes you so confident about the defense?
Well, I just think with Elko's leadership, and I think with the players they have coming back, the leadership that they have, and the defensive linemen have never been a problem at A&M. Just in the history of A&M, in the recent history of A&M, and the players they had drafted this past season, getting to the quarterback, I'm never concerned when they lose pass rushers because they bring in more pass rushers. That just hasn't been a problem.
Okay, I'm going to close out with this. I want one SEC coach and maybe one college football coach in general that we're going to have a different opinion of, a higher opinion of at the end of the year. So Ryan Day, at one point, people were ready to fire him. And then obviously he wins the national championship. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but maybe somebody in the SEC at the end of the year, you're like, this guy rose a lot of spots in the eyes of many, and then just college football in general.
I think DeBoer at Alabama, there's still people who doubt him, so I think highly of them this year. So he'd be my SEC guy. I'm trying to, you know what? Mike Elko's the answer. Never mind. Mike Elko's the answer. I don't just say that because I'm on with you. I was thinking about the map of the SEC because DeBoer played in the national title game 24 months ago. People don't think as highly of Mike Elko. They will by the end of the year. I think they'll challenge for a playoff spot. So I'd stay in the state of Texas for my national guy. Dave Aranda, I think, is going to have a massive bounce back perception year for Baylor. He gets a chance to do it early because they get that standalone Friday night spot against an SEC team in Auburn. So, David, I think they could actually be in the Big 12 title game the closer I look at him. So give me Elko, give me Aranda. I never even had to leave the state.
The Aranda one is interesting. I like him a lot. I didn't see the full. I saw the quote. What was the? Maybe we shouldn't get into the specifics of it, but did anybody ever follow up when he was talking? What was it? Something about little people? I don't know. Did anybody follow up with what he was trying to say?
Let me answer your question with a question.
Okay.
Is it even possible to follow up?
I don't think it is.
He went a lot of different directions in that one answer. And if you only had an opportunity for one follow-up, all the journalism school in the world at your back, I don't know what you follow up with other than, are you okay? That's probably my follow-up. Do you need help? But no, I love him. Here's a true story. I don't ever ask for when we do the speaker series in the spring, I rarely ask to go talk to a coach. Most of it is I announce we're going to do it, and the SIDs will reach out, and we know most of them. We'll be lining up a time, blah, blah, blah. The only one I reached out to was Baylor and Dave Aranda. Only one to turn us down, Dave Aranda and Baylor. And it was the sweetest, most respectful, humble decline ever. It was I have to be so focused this time of year. I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm so sorry. He's profusely apologetic to the point where I almost said, it's okay. We didn't want to come anyway. It's okay. It's all right. But they did hit us up later and say, can you come now? But it was already too late. But yeah, Dave Aranda, now people see why I was so intent on getting to Waco to have him on the show, because that would have been,
what a bite.
I don't think I would have talked. I would have just said, here's the mic. It's on. What's on your mind?
The only thing is they did lose DeCory and JT Clark, who's kind of a program legend. He was on track to be, I would say, a second-day draft pick. And then just really bad injuries kind of derailed his career. So he decided to take I wouldn't say medical red shirt, just medically retire and just focus on getting his body right and trying to get into the NFL after the season. So losing that veteran leadership will hurt, but it's just a lot of talent. And with an experienced quarterback and, the whole offensive line returning, you think they'll find a way to get the ball downfield a little bit.
Jared, let's close out with defense. You didn't seem to be very high on what they did last year. They lost, their top 5 tacklers from last year's team. That might be a good thing. Should the defense be better?
Right now, I'm going to say no, right? It's just impossible for me to look at the uncertainty that's here and forecast improvement. Now, they brought in a lot of talent, a lot of bodies that have kind of power, force, size, and speed and all of that, but there's just no chemistry between these guys. They haven't played together. UTSA has kind of out-talented a lot of their conference opponents on the defensive side of the ball the past couple of years. So I think when they get to conference play, they'll be okay. But, early season against a program like A&M, I think it's going to be really tough. There are some highlights here. They got Shad Banks, a transfer from TCU. There's a lot of pressure on him to be a day one, not only starter, but to kind of be a leader on that defense, right? He was on that national runner-up team for TCU, and he's had a really good career. So, a lot of eyeballs on him. But especially in that defensive back room, I just have no clue what that group is going to look like. There are some safeties coming back that did okay last year, but I don't think at safety or cornerback there's a single guy that I could point to and say, yep, this guy is going to be a really steady starter. He's got a high ceiling. It's a lot of question marks. They already lost an Oklahoma State transfer at cornerback that I thought was going to be a good addition. So that's the biggest question mark for me. And, they're probably fortunate to have a new starter at quarterback for A&M in that first game. And hopefully he has some shakiness in his first start at A&M with Marcel Reed. But yeah, it's very dicey. We'll see. I think the run game will be okay, but that secondary is a huge concern.
All right. If you want to tell the people what to do, or have the people behind you tell the people what to do.
All right. Everybody in this room, yell out what you're supposed to do at the end of the TexAgs Rewind.
Why did it sound like,
that was absolutely the worst participation ever, and we'll never do that
like
again.
An AA meeting. Like everybody just said, "Hi, I'm Bill. Hi, Bill." Like that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. They didn't even say anything for like 2 seconds, so they're all fired.
Fired. We'll see you next time.